For food manufacturers, hot oil leakage can be a very, very big and dangerous problem. What can we do about it, and what are the solutions? And how big of a problem is it? Here to talk to us today, Michael O'Grady. Michael, thank you so much for joining me on scottcundill.com.
Hey, thank you, Scott. Appreciate being here.
Great. Well, how big of a problem is hot oil leakage for food manufacturers?
Well, there's a lot of applications in the food and beverage industry for pumps, and some of them are more challenging than others. One of them being hot oil frying and the processing of hot oil. Typically, hot oil is used to fry a number of different types of foods, anywhere from potato chips and fries to donuts and pork rinds and snacks. So it can be an issue when it's not managed properly. And the typical problems we see with pumping hot oil is literally the styles of pumps they use. And it's our understanding that a lot of times we walk into facilities that are continuing to use standardized pumps that really aren't designed to withstand the issues with hot oil, high temperatures. When they pump that hot oil out of the vessel, they need to filter it. So there's particulate in there. Pump seals don't like that. So there's a number of issues that make pumping hot oil a challenge.
Right. So let's talk about the particulates getting caught in the seals, because that is a problem. Now, tell us about what happens. So what goes wrong? You're a food manufacturer, you're frying donuts, you're frying snacks, and everything seems to go great. But quietly in the background, those particulates are building up. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it's not only the temperature of the hot oil, which can be challenging on the seals that the oil will see in the internals of the pump, but there's little particulates. That's why this oil has to get reprocessed and filter out those particulates that are left over after processing. And typical standardized pumps have a mechanical seal. Most pumps do. And those products, those little bits and pieces, can get between the seal faces. And if those seal faces spread open just a little, you'd see a little bit of hot oil spitting on the floor in the processing plant. That's bad. So the idea is we try to introduce new technology that has a pump of a different style that doesn't have that same issue, does not have the problem with leaking seals. So that's really where the issues are.
So I'm a food manufacturer and I've got, say, a cast iron pot. I have been, seems to be fine. Why should I really care? I mean, occasionally a bit of hot oil spills out. Why is that so bad? You know, it's tough times, you know, why should I really take this seriously, Michael?
Well, I think, you know, part of the reason, but other reasons people don't really take a closer look at. But the idea with hot oil is if it's, first of all, if it leaks on the plant floor, there's an opportunity for somebody to slip and injure themselves, right? But a lot of times these processing facilities, we've seen it, we've walked into plants, well, they'll put this pump on top of another vessel because it's assumed it will leak. So this other vessel will capture that leakage of oil. So they're accepting something that they know is going to fail. The other issue is leaking hot oil. Not only, you know, if you're ever audited by OSHA, they don't like to see leaking hot oil on the plant floor. They don't want to see any oil on the floor again. But the real problem could be a fire hazard. Yes, it has happened. Plants have burnt down to the ground with failures in the hot oil processing of the facility. It has happened. So it could be catastrophic. So we need to eliminate it, obviously.
Okay, Michael, so this is actually a little bit worrying, because what you're effectively saying is that it's kind of like the logistics of the plant in terms of the way they're treating hot oil is built to fail. I mean, they know that hot oil is going to spill. We know for a fact that regulations are getting tighter and tighter. Food manufacturers are held up to very, very high standards, and rightly so. So you're effectively saying that there's a big problem waiting to happen if they don't solve this hot oil leakage problem.
It could very well be, but these processors know what they're doing and they know how to manage this. They have, you know, we're getting into a lot of different subjects here, but preventative maintenance, right? They know pump seals will eventually leak. The problem with hot oil processing is preventative maintenance is very effective, but many times these issues come up sporadically, unplanned. And that's where the issue gets into another area. If maintenance is unplanned, that means production gets stopped. They may have to, again, these temperatures get over 380 degrees Fahrenheit, 390 degrees Fahrenheit. They may need to let the system cool down before they can maintain it and get running again. So a lot of times these maintenance issues come up unplanned. So the other issue is, you're hurting, your downtime hurts your bottom line, basically. And it hurts your efficiencies in running the plant. So we need to find a solution there. And the issue is a different style of pump altogether. So that's where Verder and Paco can help.
Okay, so let's talk about that. And we talk about the centrifugal approach and how it may or may not be a good thing. Let's talk about that technology. Talk about how the different seals can work. Tell us about the new technology that's coming out. And also tell us about how that has an impact on lower maintenance. Because at the end of the day, as you quite rightly said, if your plant goes down, that downtime can cost you a lot of money. So avoiding that is a huge priority for these food manufacturers. Talk us through this technology and how it can assist.
Okay, good question. So yeah, there's a number of issues. We've talked about them. Safety issues apparently are number one, in my opinion, but plant maintenance and scheduling and production, keeping production going. So centrifugal pumps are the most common style of pump you'll see in any food processing plant. When they're employed correctly, they work fantastically. But they all employ a mechanical seal in general. Most centrifugal pumps employ a mechanical seal, and those seals will eventually fail. So we've talked about that. How do we eliminate that problem? Verder has different technology with our cantilever pump. Typically, a cantilever pump really utilizes a vertically mounted pump. So it's vertically mounted, and it uses the pump shaft assembly to support the pump head, eliminating the need for a mechanical seal. So how do we prevent seals from leaking, eliminate the need for it with a different style pump, our cantilever pump? So once we've done that, we're able to be more predictable with maintenance schedules. We're able to increase production time, and obviously the benefit is safety in the plant.
Okay, Michael, so what effectively you are then saying is the best way to eliminate hot oil leakage is to effectively completely eliminate the seal in the first place with a different style of pump. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. And the idea with mechanical seals, we manufacture a lot of pumps that utilize standard mechanical seal. So the seal itself, sometimes they're of a style where they just will not put up to the high temperature. Sometimes they're of a style where they're quote unquote unbalanced, meaning if there was a pressure surge of any kind in the system, it could force the seal faces open, causing a leak. So if it's the wrong mechanical seal style, you have an issue. The advantage with our cantilever pump, eliminating that problem altogether. There are some elastomer seals too, in fact, in our pump, but we utilize the proper seal material. We have a specially enhanced Viton designed specifically for these high temperatures. So mechanical seals can be the wrong style or the wrong material, or the system may cause some pressure fluctuations causing seals to open up. All those problems are eliminated by using a cantilever style pump.
Clearly a much better way to go. But my understanding as well is there's another benefit, and that is the notion of electropolishing. Tell us a little bit about that and the fact that you can actually reduce your maintenance cycles, because reducing a maintenance cycle is key to productivity.
Absolutely. And I'll tie this in with the electropolishing advantage, but typically a majority of the applications we've seen, not all, are utilizing pumps made of cast iron, which typically don't get electropolishing. Cast iron is seen as a material that's more robust. It's seen that way, but it's also less expensive. But the cast iron doesn't put up to the, again, high temperatures. Cleaning solutions, high caustic, cast iron pumps will wear. The pumps themselves and the impellers especially, again, leading to unplanned downtime. But with our style of pumps, we manufacture pumps out of high-grade stainless steel, 316 stainless steel. So that's an advantage. The bonus is all of our pumps are electropolished. So electropolishing is a huge advantage. It gives the pump surfaces an improved surface finish, resistance to corrosion, and makes it difficult for dirt to adhere to the surface itself in the first place, solely due to the benefit of electropolishing our pumps. So they're much easier to clean.
And of course, saving downtime and maintenance schedules, which is so important
Yeah.
as well. Have you done any analysis on the cost benefit over a long period of time in terms of the way that these pumps, in terms of the money they save, the risk that they lower compared with the price?
We have processors that put that information together. I don't have access to it at my fingertips right now, but usually once we put one of these pumps in compared to the other style they may have been using, we end up selling more of those pumps. They're usually large processors that are processing a lot of hot oil and a lot of fried foods. So the benefit and advantage for data is really that we usually find a repeat customer.
Right. So essentially what you're saying is that when you walk into the door of a food manufacturer and you have the conversation with them, you don't just walk in there and sell them a pump. You actually do an analysis and you say, right, let's look at your schedules. Let's actually understand your business and then put the data together and work out the cost benefit scenario over a long period of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the ROI is very simple. They usually feel it within the first month of using the pump, first couple of weeks. So
Wow.
it comes right.
I thought you were going to say within the first 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years.
Well, maintaining a pump, they're maintaining these pumps and they plan to maintain these pumps, and sometimes they don't. When they put in a pump that they're not seeing the need to do so, they usually change their preventive maintenance schedules pretty quickly.
Wow. So Michael, those food manufacturers that are listening to this, I'm sure they would love to get hold of you and have you come and see them. How can they get hold of you?
Well, I'm easily reached, Michael.O'Grady at Verder-US.com. And I also will definitely have my information available on LinkedIn as well.
Michael O'Grady, thank you so much for joining me on scottcundill.com.
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate the time.